Hi there, Chris here, the chap in the cap. Today I'm going to talk to you about a leather jacket from Spidi. It's called the Firebird jacket. This is the Firebird jacket from Italian brand Spidi. In the UK, it is totally exclusive to Motolegends. It is made from a 0.9 to 1.1 millimeter leather. It is a nubuck leather. Now, what nubuck leather is, it's the front of the leather, it's the smooth side that's then been braided to create a bit of texture. It is not suede. Suede is the inside of the leather, but nubuck creates a finish that's not quite as rough as suede, but it just gives it a wee bit of a texture. What we love about this jacket is that it's a motorcycle jacket that just does not look like a motorcycle jacket. You could wear this, as we're seeing here, over a pair of jeans, wander down the street. No one's going to think at all that you are a motorcyclist. And if that's the kind of anonymity, the understatement you want, then this is a jacket that you should certainly look at. There is a particular way of wearing this jacket and a particular way of buying this jacket that you need to be mindful of. You have to buy this jacket particularly tightly. Now, that's because up the sides here, and Graham will do some shots in a minute, there is a large band, a large accordion stretch band. Now, that is going to give over time, and if you come into the shop, as we had one customer who insisted on buying it quite loose, and we said, no, that's not the way. He actually came back a couple of months later, the jacket was all over him. Luckily, he had a larger older brother. He was able to swap that jacket over and he bought another jacket for himself. But when you buy this jacket, it's almost got to be so tight that you can barely do the zip up. It needs to be tight because over time, this is going to stretch. If it's comfortable today, it's going to be loose and ungainly in a couple of months' time. So buy it tight, and then eventually it will mold around you and it will become the jacket that you perhaps always wanted. The other thing that some people don't like about this jacket is this fur collar. I can't live with that fur collar, they tell us. Well, the good news is that that fur collar is not part of the jacket, the outer jacket, it's part of the inner thermal liner. So if you like the jacket but just don't like the fur collar, it's very simple. Buy the jacket, throw the thermal liner out, use a merino base layer or whatever base layer you want, a jumper of some sort. You do not have to have that. Personally, I think it's a shame. I think the fur lined collar is part of the appeal of this jacket. It's part of the look, and certainly in the winter it makes this a lovely cozy jacket to wear. In terms of the way the jacket's put together, I'm just going to talk through some of the features. We've got 3 external pockets, one here on the chest, 2 slash pockets on the side. There is 1 Napoleon pocket inside. Little feature here, you can see these black bands here. What that is, that's what Spidi call a high tenacity nylon. So it's still very abrasion resistant, but it's not as thick as leather. And one of the problems with a leather jacket is if you have quite a thick leather, and this is a thick leather, as I've said, it's a 0.9 to 1.1 leather, when you crook the arm like that, you bend the arm, you create a gathering of material here. So what this is meant to do, this is much lighter, much thinner than leather. It just makes the jacket, it makes the sleeves easier to articulate. It makes the jacket more comfortable to wear. In terms of armor, you've got CE protectors in the shoulders and the elbows. There is a pocket for a back protector. It doesn't come as standard. We do not particularly like Spidi's back protector. It's quite an old-fashioned thing. It's great armor, but it's just a little bit out of date now. It's plastic, it's quite thick, it attaches with Velcro. What we prefer to do is to take a Furigan T8 back protector. We've converted that, we've had a strip of Velcro put up the back, so when you put that armor in, it's level 2, it's really soft. As it heats up, it gets softer. It's much nicer than the Spidi armor. I think it's also a few quid cheaper, so that's certainly the way that we would go. So that's it, that's the Spidi Firebird's jacket. If you want that understated look, this is a beautiful jacket. It looks great on the street, works well on the bike. I have just remembered, and excuse me, I'm going to go into it now because there is one feature of this jacket that makes it particularly nice on the bike. It's the lowered back. Now, we have this thing about motorcycle jackets needing to be lower at the back. A lot of motorcycle brands out there produce jackets that are really fashion jackets. They don't think what they're going to be like on the bike. And when you sit on the bike, especially if you're leaning forward in on some kind of cafe racer bike, the jacket rides up. What we really don't want to see is a gap between the top of the jeans and the bottom of the jacket. So for that, what you need is an extended lower bottom of the jacket. Now, traditionally, that's what motorcycle jackets had back in the 60s and 70s. Everyone kind of forgot that because motorcycling got merged with fashion. And even now, there are jackets that don't have a lowered back. People buy them, but when they get back and sit on their bikes and go and ride on them, they realize that they're getting a draft here. If you have an accident, you've got exposed skin and so on. We really like a lowered back on a jacket. And to be fair to Spidi, a lot of their jackets naturally have a lowered back. This has a particularly exaggerated lower back. It works really well. Whatever your particular dimensions, however tall you are in the upper torso, this is a jacket that's going to reach past the jean line. It's going to work really well on the bike. So I'm sorry, I should perhaps have mentioned that earlier on in this review, but it is a very important part of the jacket. The jacket costs £450, what we'd expect to pay for a jacket of this quality. It's called the Spidi Firebird. If you want to look at more leather jackets, then visit the website motolegends.com. If you want to learn more about this particular jacket, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. When you're there, you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check out availability, and if you particularly like the jacket, obviously you can buy one there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on anything you buy from us. Returns are also free, and we give you a 12-month period in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. We have the best price promise in the business. John Lewis is rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anyone selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat their price by a full 10%. If the retailer is in the EU but not in the UK, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. Now, if in the future you'd like to receive bulletins from us about new products, then on the top of every page on the website, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there, within seconds you'll be in business. In future, you'll receive bulletins from us. If, however, you would like to receive your information or prefer to receive your information videographically, in other words, in this form, we would be simply delighted if you wanted to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the link below. Now, this is 2020. During 2020, we are running a little promotion to give away a motorbike to a YouTube subscriber. We're calling it a Steve McQueen tribute bike. It's based on a Mutt 125cc machine. You can read more about it on the front page of our website or on the home page of our YouTube channel. Finally, I'd like to make a play for our little shop here in Guildford. We're based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. The shop itself has got a fairly small footprint, but it's attached to a warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of merchandise over 3 stories. That technically makes us the second largest shop in the country, the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we think that we are far more than just the merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come and see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee. We will serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And if you're lucky, you might even get to taste one of Sean's mum's famous motorcycle shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.